Okay. When you do your business plan, it would be great to include your marketing plan in there, because your marketing plan really is part of a business plan. So when you're doing your business plan, ultimately your marketing would be included in that. Like, my understanding is that you have great market demographics, so you understand what's going on in the areas that you're in. So I'm going to tell you how to set your marketing plan up, and believe you me, it's not hard. It's task work. So my suggestion for all of you, if you're already in business, I would suggest setting up a 6-month marketing plan. If you're not in business, I would suggest 3 months. Because here's the thing, the plan's going to shift and change, and what you need to do is evaluate how things have worked after you have accomplished either a 3 or 6 month time period. Especially when you're new in business, things move all around all the time, and things happen that you're not ready for, so there's going to be changes. I set my marketing plans up according to revenue stream. Okay, so if, for example, you're selling all these different, like, you've got all these different things going on in your market, and different things will make different amounts of money for you. So what I like to figure out is what's my cash cow. My cash cow is the thing that makes me the most money. So when I look at my consulting business, like, we have retainer clients who pay us every single month. That's our cash cow. But we have one-off clients, we have speaking, we do all these other things. So, like, when you look at the overall big picture of what is making the most money for me, and then you say, oh, if it's retainer clients, I set everybody up according to, how do I get more retainer clients? How do I get more speaking gigs? How do I do this? Like, I like kind of take everything and separate it according to what makes me money, and then I figure out how to make more money in those categories. So at the end of the day, you just want to make more money, and that means bringing more business and figuring out what makes, like, sometimes you'd be surprised where the one thing that you're doing, like, for example, Pizza Tonight's a longtime client of ours. She just opened a brick and mortar, but for a long time, she has this mobile fired oven, and she makes pizzas that are already done, and then she sells them to people, and she slaves over this, and it's really hot outside at Hardywood every Thursday. And finally I said, why do you kill yourself doing that? Let's just sell more pizza dough. Pizza dough costs 20 cents to make. People pay for the dough and the kit.
Oh, at the farmer's market.
$10.
Oh, it's awesome.
And that whole thing probably cost her like $1.
And they make their own mozzarella.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God, it's so good.
But to sell one pizza for $10 and slave over it and put ingredients on it, see, that doesn't make much sense to me. And this is where I go back to, I love Victoria, but people do what they like doing, and she likes being out there with that pizza oven. So if that's what you want to do, right?
It's great. People just go bonkers crazy over that. They're like, oh my God, I can get a pizza at a wedding.
I know, and that is fun. You have to admit. Because people are going for much more casual wedding receptions, like fried chicken and other things. Like, things are changing, like, on that end of the things with the, depending on who your parents are. Well, that's what I'm going to say. My mother would kill me. But, so I set mine up by revenue stream. You guys might want to do that too, because and you say, let's look at all the ways that I can make money. And so, like, for your business, for example, you might say, let me separate out food sales and alcohol sales. Because alcohol makes a lot of money. Alcohol is what you want to sell. And food is just the thing that they eat with the alcohol that makes you a lot of money. So, like, that to me is something that's important to, I don't want to say push, but I'm going to say that. I always feel bad for businesses that don't sell alcohol, because I'm like, you make so much more money if you sold some foods. And so looking at things and breaking it out according to how you're going to make revenue. So for consulting, you may say, I've got people who are administrators, but then I also have these side consulting business. People want me to help their kid decide where to go to college, and they're actually going to pay me more money, and this is a one-off, and I sit down with them for 2 hours, and then I make $500, and you start saying to yourself, I have to work really hard to get these administrators, but these, parents who, like, 'cause picking a college is hard, and telling parents in the 8th grade what needs to happen is probably where they need to start. So, understanding that and saying, can I make money doing this thing over here while I'm doing this thing over here? And sometimes it'll sway one way or the other, where you think you're going to make all your money is not where you make your money. So that's why I like to separate it. Okay, so what I do is I assign tasks for every single goal I want to accomplish, if it's 3 months or 6 months, and I'm going to give you a basic, like, new business 3-month plan. If you're a new business and you need a website, you need a logo, You need all the things in order to kind of open your business. You need a location. You need to do all the legal paperwork. I would write out all of these, and then let's just start with the logo. I need to contact a designer. I need to get 3 quotes. I need to start looking. I need to set up a Pinterest page of all the stuff that I think is cool so I can show it to my designer. And so I would list every single task that I need to do under that, and then I would assign it into a time frame over 3 months. So I don't think I'm going to do it all next week. I space it out so I don't stress myself out. Otherwise, I get stressed out. You know what I mean? If you space out your tasks, you feel a lot less stressed about having to accomplish, because all you need to do is accomplish what you said you were going to do that day of that week. So I keep my social media schedule on there, and then here's what you do. And so for a long time, all I did was straight marketing implementation for clients, and I had to divvy up their marketing plans by day, because I couldn't think about one client one day and think about the other client in the afternoon and the morning. So I would kind of separate them out, and then all their marketing plans were separate and all their task works were separate. And then it was just like my to-do list. You know what I mean? Today I get to do this. So as the business owner, you have a lot of things that you need to do. So what you need to do is compartmentalize your marketing time. This is the most important thing I'm probably going to say all evening. You need to pick 2 4-hour segments to do your marketing. If you don't think you need that time, you can separate it into 2 hours, 2 2-hour segments. But I would start with at least 2 2-hour segments, and you may need to increase it. So on Monday morning from 10 to 12, and then on Wednesday from 10 to 1, or however much time you need, are your marketing times, and that's, you clear your schedule, you don't answer your phone, and don't check your email, because you will never get anything done otherwise. So if you take these times and set them aside for your marketing and block them out of your calendar, then you can sit down and do your task work, because that's all it is a to-do list of stuff that you have to accomplish. If you wake up in the morning and you say, what am I going to do to market my business today? Those are the kinds of things that frighten me, because you can't just get out of bed and start marketing. You have to pre-plan what you're going to do, and you have to implement the plan, because everything coincides with each other. And if you don't make decisions in advance, your marketing is just not going to go over. So understanding how to compartmentalize your time so that your thing that you love doing, which will take over, doesn't coincide with the fact that you still need to do your marketing. If you don't market yourself, you will not succeed. So you need to figure out where in your time to put that in. Don't do it from 12 to 2 in the morning, and put it into your schedule, and then compartmentalize all those tasks. Crowdfunding is something I teach a lot of classes on, and honestly, Stephanie and I are probably experts in crowdfunding, because it's not something that everybody really talks about or even understands. But my question to you is, how many of you have funded a crowdfunding campaign, like on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, any of those?
I was close, but
Close? Okay. That's good. 4. Usually I get 1 hand. So crowdfunding is an online process. It can be for profit or nonprofit businesses. The application you use is very specific towards the type of business you are. So usually nonprofit and profit don't always overlap, so you need to check those. The reason people use these applications are to raise funds for their business, to help their startup, or to do something very specific like project-based online, and they're using their network, their social network, to raise money. Okay, so it's been, crowdfunding's been around since, the beginning of time. So for example, the Statue of Liberty was coming over from Paris, and they had no pedestal to put it on, so they stood in the streets of New York and collected money, and most people gave under $1 to raise $100,000 to put the foundation of the Statue of Liberty. So that would still be considered crowdfunding. I consider Girl Scout cookie sales, which I loathe with every inch of my being because my daughter likes to sell the most cookies, crowdfunding in the sense that they have a product they're selling, but they have a collective goal that they're trying to reach, which is to go to a play, to go to a Great Wolf Lodge, whatever they want to do. But they're coming together as a group to raise funds to do something specific. So here's an example of things that are going on right now, and oh look, here's one that's been completely funded. So let's look at this. Okay. They only asked for $2,500, which is a very low ask. They had 45 backers. There's still time to fund this project. We have 3 hours left, so if you want to get your fan out and fund them right now, feel free.
Looks like it's our first Kickstarter.
Yeah, and this is a good amount to ask for because it's low enough that you can actually manage it. You know, I'm not going to play the video because I just realized we don't have sound. The video is a large part of what sells your project. So basically what they're doing is they're telling you, we have a project, we want to raise this money, here's what we'd like to do with our project and our money, and then they have rewards on the side. So if you give me $25, your name will be featured in our program. If you give me $50, we'll feature your name and you'll receive a poster signed by all 4 choreographers. So each amount has a reward or something given to you for funding them. Okay, so this is the basic concept of any type of crowdfunding. It's saying, I'm doing something, here's what I'm doing. The way you present it is very important. But I have a different philosophy about crowdfunding because we've probably done about 6 or 7 crowdfunding campaigns. Like, people actually hire us to help them do their campaigns because it's more difficult than you would think. So the first thing is that you have to stop thinking of it as a straight money in your pocket, because that's not what it is. This is a marketing activity as much as it is an activity to raise funds. How your business is reflected on here, it represents, honestly, part of your brand. So if you're not funded, it makes you look bad. If you are funded, it makes you look good. So the amount that you're raising is almost not as important as actually getting funded. Now let me tell you how this could benefit you. You can sell products on here. You can't sell beer, but you can't sell alcohol. You can't even give alcohol as a reward. But you could, so baskets, you could have, you know, help me grow my business. I'm going into a new location and I'm gonna need X. And people could order straight baskets from you on here in different sizes, and you can actually sell product. And what you're doing is you're selling product in advance to get the money to do what you need to do. And you're marking up those products because it's fundraising. You're not doing a straight one-on-one. That's where I think people make mistakes sometimes, where they're like, oh, my socks cost $8, I'm gonna sell it for $8. Well, you need to mark it up a little bit because you still have to pay postage. Like, people don't think about these things. This is taxable income to your business. So if they're buying a product, you need to talk to your accountant about how that works, because now you're getting taxed on this income. And there's also fees from Kickstarter. You're going to pay a flat 10% across the board on any money you raise. So these girls have asked for $2,500, so they're going to pay 10% on that. Plus, depending on where this money is going, if it's to a nonprofit, that's one thing. But if it's to a for-profit business, then you're going to pay taxes. So I think that this is a very, very, very powerful tool. That's what's amazing about it. But you have to use it wisely, or else you will, it will not be successful for you. So that's the hard part about how it works, and that's why we get clients who come to us and say, how do we do this successfully?